everyone, and welcome to another podcast from Intrepid English. My name is Lida, and I'm an English teacher here at Intrepid English. And today, the Intrepid English teachers will share the language learning myths that they hear most often. While most of our ideas come from our teaching experiences, we also drew from our own language learning journeys. Did you know that all our Intrepid English teachers can speak at least 2 languages? This is a part 1 of the Language Learning Myths podcast. Don't forget to check out part 2.
Hello, I'm Jo, and I've had a lot of students who I've heard say, I can learn a language in a few months if I try really hard. This statement is very misleading and often discourages students when they are not able to learn that quickly. In just a few months, it's not possible to learn and become fluent in a language you've never studied before. However, if you completely immerse yourself in your language of choice for a few months, you will improve much more than if you studied only occasionally. That's why we offer intensive English learning courses at Intrepid English. Here are some things to consider which might speed up or slow down your progress. Do you know any languages that are similar to your target language? Do you have any other responsibilities which will take up your time while studying? What is your current level in this language? Why are you learning the language? Do you enjoy learning and using the language?
Hi, I'm Lida, and my students often say it's pointless to learn English because they can't learn a language fluently as an adult anyway. This is wrong, but also disrespectful to all the adults who work hard at improving their language skills. Is it more challenging to learn a language as an adult? Yes. Is it because our brains are incapable of learning a language? No. As we get older, it becomes more difficult, but not impossible. Kids learn easier. That is true. It is also their full-time job to learn. Adults have jobs and responsibilities in addition to learning a language. It's not fair to expect the same results from learners with vastly different learning conditions.
Hi, I'm Tom, and I'm an Intrepid English teacher. One language myth that I often hear is I need to speak like a native. You need to speak in a way that is understandable for native speakers and other non-native speakers. Instead of trying to get rid of all aspects of your non-native accent, you should focus on making sure your speech is clear, engaging, and easy to understand. It makes sense to emulate an accent if you live in a specific place and don't want to stand out. On the other hand, there is no standard native accent. If you listen to the recording of parts 1 and 2 of this blog, you will notice that each of us is a native speaker, and we have wildly different accents.
Hi, I'm Kate, and I'm an Intrepid English teacher. One language learning myth that I often hear is that you just need to learn the rules for everything to speak well. Learning English is like learning maths. We often think that learning a language is like learning maths because we learn both at school, usually from textbooks. Students learn the rules and then it's up to them to put the pieces of the puzzle together. This may work for maths, but learning a language requires a lot more exposure and context. When speaking a new language, there is usually more than just a right and a wrong answer. The listener might understand what you want to say, but it may use incorrect grammar. Your sentence might be perfectly correct, but there might be better or more appropriate ways to say it. This is also why your teacher might not say, "You're wrong," very often, if ever. At Intrepid English, we focus on a more communicative approach, so that you learn in a way that's more similar to the way you'll use English in your daily life. Kids learn their first language because they want to communicate with others, but they don't learn it by memorizing rules. They learn through using it, making mistakes, observing, and practicing. As teachers, we help you communicate with confidence while providing a model of correct use of English to emulate first language acquisition better.
Hi, Lorraine here. And one myth I often hear from my students is that they believe they must memorise 10 new words every day. And my response to that is, you may be able to memorise many words quickly, but if you don't practice them, over a long period of time you will forget them. We call this the forgetting curve. If you study a word 14 times over 3 months, you'll remember it much better than studying it 14 times in one day. I never recommend students learn vocabulary only from lists. Why? Because it's much easier to confuse and misuse words when you learn them from a list. You want to learn words in context, so that you know how they behave in a sentence, and you can use them. Also, I don't know many people who enjoy memorising lists. Here's an idea. Instead, try to learn words that are relevant to you, and then use them often. Focus on what is useful to you. If you want to learn English to travel, then read travel blogs and research your dream destinations on English language websites. Whatever your reason to learn a language, there are better resources to learn vocabulary than lists. If you'd like some tips, feel free to ask us in the comments, or reach out to us by asking the chat box, which is at the bottom right-hand corner of every screen on the Intrepid English website. Of course, if you're an Intrepid English member, you can also ask in our community.
This content was written and recorded by the Intrepid English teachers. You can find out more about any of us on our profile pages. If you have any questions, or you would like to request a topic for a future podcast, you can post it on any of our social media pages. You can also book a free trial lesson today and talk about your learning goals with an experienced English teacher. Let us help you on your language learning journey. Thank you for listening and have a great day.